Rare forgotten photos reveal shocking moments history tried to hide. From Victorian secrets to vanished professions, these images will leave you speechless. Subscribe now to uncover the truth. Prepare to see history like never before. 30-second camera exposures meant Victorian children couldn't stay still without help during portrait photography. The photograph captures how mothers solved this problem by hiding beneath fabric. Their bodies became invisible scaffolding. Mothers perfected increasingly creative concealment techniques, some vanishing completely behind curtains while steadying their children. The photograph captures phantom hands appearing from nowhere. The practice continued until faster cameras arrived. William Hope produced fraudulent spirit photographs showing deceased loved ones appearing with the living around 1920. The photograph captures deceptive techniques that exploited grieving families. Craftsmen prepared plaster facial molds in a memorial workshop during the early 1900s, creating detailed likenesses intended for remembrance. The photograph offers a glimpse into historical, commemorative practices. Men slept in narrow wooden boxes inside an early London shelter, a low-cost option that reflected the limited housing resources and difficult economic conditions faced by many during the era. Factory workers sat on benches and rested their heads on tightly strung ropes to sleep in Victorian Britain. This cheap accommodation cost pennies. At 5 a.m., maids cut the ropes to wake them for work. This family assembled matchboxes at home, earning just 2 pence for 144 boxes made. Children fetched materials from factories while their mother worked continuously. They purchased their own paste and string from meager earnings. A young mother paused to rest after long days assembling matchboxes at home. Her child slept nearby, showing how early industrial labor often blended living and working spaces in crowded neighborhoods. A cat meat seller sold leftover slaughterhouse scraps from his barrow in London's East End around 1901. The photograph captures forgotten Victorian professions serving poor neighborhoods. These horse meat vendors traveled streets daily. A young shoe-black polished shoes on London streets after purchasing a 5-shilling yearly license in 1877. The photograph captures child street workers common in Victorian England. Independent shoeblacks competed for customers daily. An Italian immigrant sold halfpenny ices from a street cart in London around 1876. The photograph captures Italian migrants dominating the ice cream trade. These vendors became a distinct Victorian street feature. Young Italian migrants performed harp music on London streets to survive poverty. Thompson documented how a beggar in England is richer than a laborer in Italy. These children sent their earnings home to Italian families. This woman lived in Clerkenwell's Italian Quarter, where 1,000 Italians settled by 1850. Saffron Hill centered around St. Peter's Roman Catholic Church. The neighborhood preserved Italian language and traditions across generations. Aerial performers suspended from ropes posed dramatically for Sanger circus photography in the 1880s. The photograph captures Victorian circus promotional methods. These images attracted audiences across England's otherwise rigid class divisions. Circus performers posed before Sanger's Big Top, displaying acrobats, animal trainers, and clowns in unity. The photograph captures projected solidarity despite road rivalries. Circus performers used photographic calling cards to promote their acts and seek employment across Victorian England. The photograph captures individual self-marketing techniques. These cartes de visite displayed performers' unique talents to circus proprietors and audiences. If you're enjoying these photographs, please subscribe. Do these images remind you of your own memories? Comment which one touched you and where you're watching from today. We have more fascinating photographs to share ahead. Handlers attempted to train zebras as alternative riding animals in colonial experiments. Unlike horses, Zebras proved impossible to domesticate due to aggressive temperaments. These efforts ultimately failed completely. Chad the goat peered over a wooden gate at Chessington Zoo in Greater London. Human hands reached up to greet the curious animal. The zoo captured everyday moments between visitors and animals. Men raced on ostriches at Monroe County Fairgrounds in Rochester, New York during the 1930s. These novelty races entertained fairgoers despite chaos. Riders were frequently thrown off the unpredictable birds. This prototype combat helmet featured chainmail face protection to shield soldiers' eyes from flying debris. Developed during World War I, the design aimed to reduce facial injuries. The cumbersome headgear never saw widespread use. Milunka Savage became the most decorated female combatant in warfare history. She disguised herself as a man to fight in her brother's place. Her gender was discovered after battlefield injuries. Albina Malihocevar joined the Yugoslav resistance at 16, serving in several support roles during World War II. She later received national recognition for her contributions to the wartime effort. King Victor Emmanuel III of Italy decorated a young boy with a gold medal of military valor in 1942. The child received recognition for wartime bravery. Youth participation was celebrated publicly. American military nurses waded ashore at Normandy Beach in 1944 following D-Day invasion. They carried medical equipment to treat wounded soldiers. Women served crucial combat support roles during the war. The RMS Queen Elizabeth carried thousands of troops home after World War II ended. Every deck overflowed with soldiers returning from European battlefields. The massive ship documented joyful demobilization. A mother showed her missing son's photograph to returning prisoners of war in Vienna in 1947, hoping someone recognized him. The moment reflects families seeking answers after years of displacement. A Yemenite Jewish family walked through the desert during Operation Magic Carpet in 1949. Nearly the entire Yemenite Jewish community fled to Israel after facing persecution. They carried belongings across barren terrain. Evicted residents surveyed their possessions outside a Jewish grocery on New York's Lower East Side. This densely populated neighborhood housed Eastern European Jewish immigrants. Evictions reflected harsh tenement poverty. Unemployed workers wore signs advertising their skills during the Great Depression in 1930. Each man offered a day's work for $1. The photograph documented desperate job seekers during economic collapse. This photograph shows a legally segregated classroom in the early 1900s American South, illustrating the education policies and social conditions that shaped daily learning environments during that era. Leola N. King became America's first female traffic cop in Washington, D.C. in 1918. She directed traffic wearing a military-style uniform. King broke gender barriers in law enforcement. American swimmer Gertrude Ederle became the first woman to swim across the English Channel in 1926. She flexed her muscles after completing the feat. Her time beat all previous male swimmers. Seven-time Wimbledon champion Dorothea Lambert-Chambers competed at the 1919 tournament wearing a full-length dress. She lost this match to French player Suzanne Lenglen. Women's tennis required modest clothing. Players competed in the first international tennis match at Wimbledon in 1883. Spectators watched from wooden stands wearing full-length white clothing. This historic match established Wimbledon's global tennis legacy. Over 80,000 people attended the heavyweight championship between Georges Carpentier and Jack Dempsey in 1921. The massive crowd filled the arena to witness this historic bout, boxing's first $1 million gate event. Amy Peterson wore a steel mesh mask while inspecting champagne bottles in 1933. The protective gear prevented injuries from exploding bottles during fermentation. High-pressure glass explosions were common hazards before modern safety standards. Chester Carlson invented the modern photocopier and made the first xerographic copy in 1938. The Xerox 914, released in 1959, revolutionized office work. This bulky machine transformed document copying forever. Frederick Scott Archer invented the wet collodion photographic process in 1851. This revolutionary technique produced sharper images and enabled multiple copies. His invention transformed photography from earlier, less efficient methods. A photographer prepared his equipment aboard an aircraft documenting a mid-century nuclear test. The image reveals early methods used to record experimental atomic research during a highly controlled operation. NASA astronauts underwent desert survival training in the 1960s, preparing for emergency landings. They learned to survive in extreme environments. Training ensured readiness for any landing scenario anywhere on Earth. A woman purchased flight insurance from a vending machine at Newark Airport in the 1950s. Travelers could buy instant coverage before boarding flights. This system reflected growing air travel safety concerns. Researchers discovered neatly stacked plates across the Titanic debris field in 1985. The porcelain survived intact despite descending 2 miles through ocean depths. These artifacts preserved the liner's final service. Tourists climbed freely over the Great Pyramid of Giza in the early 20th century. Before modern regulations, visitors scaled the ancient structure without restriction. The massive limestone blocks made natural steps. This Victorian building perched dramatically on a San Francisco cliff overlooking the Pacific Ocean. Built in the late 1890s, the ornate structure survived only 10 years. Ocean Beach attracted visitors to this architectural marvel. Massive Douglas fir logs formed towering columns inside Portland's Forestry Building, the world's largest log cabin. Built for the Lewis and Clark Centennial Exposition in 1905. Fire destroyed this architectural marvel in 1964. Danish clothier Christian Troelstrup covered his building with over 1,000 coats to attract buyers. The dramatic display created a massive fabric wall. This elaborate stunt demonstrated his vast inventory. Felix the cat balloon tangled in telephone wires during Macy's first balloon parade in 1927. Balloon mishaps became regular Thanksgiving Day occurrences. Felix was among the earliest character balloons featured. A woman walked along railroad tracks carrying luggage after a train derailment in 1975. Workers cleared debris in the background. The photograph captured determination of stranded passengers continuing their journey. The Olona River overflowed its banks near Milan, flooding the town of Rho in 1956. Emergency services arrived to manage the substantial disruption. Firefighters worked to control the historic flood event documented in photographs. This densely packed housing complex exemplified Hong Kong's rapid urban development during the 1980s. Air conditioners jutted from countless windows in the crowded building. The territory's population exceeded 5 million during this era. Shoppers navigated crowded market stalls on Chung Yung Street in North Point, Hong Kong in 1986. Canvas-covered vendors lined the busy thoroughfare. The street scene captured everyday life in bustling neighborhoods. Photographer Michael McGill captured everyday life at 42nd Street and 5th Avenue. Men in suits sat on sidewalk chairs while a woman used a telephone booth. The image documented urban street culture. A Russian farm worker and his family gathered to listen to a radio for one of the first times. The technology brought news and entertainment to remote rural areas. The phonograph horn amplified broadcasts. patrons celebrated inside a bar on December 5, 1933, the day Prohibition ended. Crowds raised glasses in joyful toast after 13 years of alcohol ban. Bartenders served legally for the first time since 1920. Judy Garland read a script backstage while Munchkin actors rested during filming of The Wizard of Oz. The photograph captured a quiet moment between takes on the Hollywood set. Child actors worked long hours. Italian actress Sophia Loren walked with husband Carlo Ponti during her first New York visit in 1958. The elegant couple strolled through Manhattan's foggy streets. Her Hollywood career was just beginning. Elizabeth Taylor and Mike Todd welcomed their newborn daughter Liza in 1957. The portrait shows a warm family moment, taken shortly before Todd's passing the following year. Jack Nicholson held a newspaper reviewing his performance after winning his first Academy Award in 1975. He won Best Actor for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. The victory launched his legendary career. Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, and Bunny Wailer posed as the Wailers in Jamaica in 1964. The trio pioneered reggae music before achieving international fame. Their collaboration shaped modern Jamaican music. Actress Natalie Portman sat at her desk as a high school student in 1999. She balanced academic studies with her growing Hollywood career. Portman attended Syosset High School while filming movies. Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, and Casey Affleck posed at Damon's birthday party in the late 1980s. The childhood friends held gaming devices before their Hollywood careers began. Their lifelong friendship started in Massachusetts neighborhoods. Young Frida Kahlo posed in a men's suit for this family portrait around 1924. The unconventional clothing choice reflected her rebellious spirit. She challenged gender norms throughout her life. Sculptor Selma Burke designed the Franklin Roosevelt portrait that appears on the American dime today. She created the iconic profile relief seen by millions. Her artistic contribution remains largely unknown. Dancers from the Denishawn School performed with flowing fabric in the 1920s. Founded by Ruth St. Denis and Ted Shawn, the school pioneered American modern dance. Students included Martha Graham. Mata Hari posed for a Paris portrait in 1905 as a stage performer. Her later involvement in World War I intelligence became widely documented. The photograph captured her early career in European entertainment. Steve Strack knelt outside a Chicago courthouse in 1948 while speaking with his wife Anna. The moment, captured by a Tribune photographer, became a well-known image of emotional reconciliation. Afghan women studied medicine at Kabul University in 1962 before decades of conflict. They reviewed notes together wearing modern uniforms. Afghanistan once offered women significant educational opportunities. A First Nations couple posed for a studio portrait in 1886 wearing traditional clothing and jewelry. The setting reflected cultural heritage and craftsmanship of the era. Sudanese Muslims gathered in ceremonial clothing to mark the first day of Ramadan. For 30 days, they observed fasting from sunrise to sunset. The photograph documented Islamic traditions in colonial-era Sudan. Mother and children posed in their Alaskan camper with retractable sliding roof in 1963. The innovative design accommodated slide-in camping equipment. This compact RV popularized family road trips. This Victorian pub documented East Hill's working-class community life in Wandsworth. The Stansfeld family operated their brewery here for decades. Small neighborhood pubs like this anchored entire streets before modern transportation. White horses pulled delivery carts outside this Lewisham pub. The old Tiger's Head served Courage Porter and local ales. Elaborate signage helped brewery-owned establishments compete for customers. Workers manufactured stonepipes in this London workshop to meet infrastructure demands. The capital's rapid growth created huge demand for drainage and sewage pipes. Manual labor dominated this essential industrial production. Women operated sewing machines at Cellular Clothing Company in Swindon in 1902. Rows of workers sat at individual stations with baskets for fabric pieces. Factory production employed hundreds in British textile manufacturing. Mrs. Robinson stuffed mattresses with straw on her doorstep, earning 1 shilling each around 1900. The photograph captures Victorian working poverty. Women performed exhausting piecework from their East End homes. Charles Booth's 1901 survey revealed 30.7% of Londoners lived in poverty. The photograph captures Victorian social inequality documentation. The chart classified families by economic status and housing conditions. Students posed inside America's first 12-year co-educational tuition-free parochial school. St. James in Bay City pioneered accessible religious education. The photograph documented this progressive institution in its early years. A Los Angeles police officer cared for an unattended infant at her desk in 1971, keeping the child safe until social services arrived. The photo captures a brief moment of protection and calm. An American soldier displayed the recovered imperial crown of the Holy Roman Empire in 1945. The historic artifact had been hidden inside a German castle during the final phase of the war. Prince Arthur's nurse appeared as a transparent ghost when she moved during Roger Fenton's 1854 portrait session. The photograph captures photography's earliest accidental supernatural effect. Italian immigrants gathered around an ice wafer cart in Saffron Hill around 1901. The photograph captures Italian dominance of London's ice cream trade. A boy lounged casually against the vendor's cart. An airport worker delivered supplies during a tense standoff in 1972. The photograph captures aviation security challenges of the era. Crisis management protocols evolved after such incidents. Trapped sailors played soccer on an ice floe while waiting for spring thaw. The crew maintained morale through organized activities during months of confinement. Their ship remained frozen in polar ice. Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, and Casey Affleck posed at Damon's birthday party in the late 1980s. The childhood friends held gaming devices before Hollywood careers. Their lifelong friendship started in Massachusetts. Two women bathed young children in a metal tub in a suburban backyard during the 1930s. Named Gladys, with John and Mark, the photograph captured family life. Outdoor summer baths were common then. Thank you for watching this journey through forgotten history. These rare photos prove that every moment matters, every face tells a story. Subscribe and like for more hidden historical secrets. Comment below. Which photo shocked you most? See you next time.